Hello everyone, my name is Gaston Lopez Ficher. I'm a Canadian educator and my pronouns are he, him. For today's Mat Time, we're going to be discussing how we can make our childcare spaces as safe and inclusive for all individuals. Predominantly, we're going to be talking about how we can make those spaces feel amazing for 2SLGBTQIA students. Also, our families and our community are key individuals in this role. So today we're going to go through 5 different ways in which we can make those spaces feel amazing for these kids, and 3 different ways in which we can make these spaces feel inclusive for our families and our community. Five different ways in which you can make change in your space for students. The first one is books. Everyone loves to read because it's incredibly fundamental for students and also for us as adults. Right here, I'm going to put a link for you so that you can see my top 5 favorite books. Look through these books and think, how would this make a student feel included? These books right here will show you various different styles of families, and they will also make this conversation age appropriate for you. It'll be a great starting point. The second thing that you can do is think about a child's perspective. So if I was a kid, how would my space make me feel included and celebrated? If I was from a queer family, would there be pictures of my family posted around the space? Would I be able to draw pictures? Would I be able to play dress up regardless of my gender? Think about these questions and think, do I make this feel inclusive for all? The next thing we can think about is language. For the third one, I really want you to think, do I say the word guys? Now, I know I've been in spaces where someone says, hey guys, and I immediately think to myself, that doesn't make me feel included. I know that doesn't make everyone feel included. What are other words that we can use when we need to get the attentions of our learners? Can we say, hey folks, hey friends, hey scholars? These are all amazing words that we can use, and they make a really impactful change in the listener's perspective. The next one we can do is think about our conversations. As we engage in these conversations, we can continue them with our colleagues, with our families, and even with our learners. If there's a topic that's sticking with you, think, I wonder what someone else's perspective will be on this one, and ask them, talk about it, learn. That's the wonderful thing about this. Now, for our last topic, for topic number 5, is think that this can connect to the everyday. We don't have to wait for Pink Shirt Day, Pink Triangle Day, or even for Pride Month to have these conversations. We can have these conversations every single day. We can start our learning today, continue it tomorrow, or continue it when it feels right for us. And most of all, remember, you're doing this work and it's going to be celebrated. Now, we're going to be talking about how we can support our families. The first one I want us to think about are the forms that go home with our students. These forms often say things like mom and dad, and we already know from our conversations that that is not a representation of all of our students. We know that we can change these forms and we can make our families and our community feel much more included by the sheets that go home. That's the first thing we can do. It requires a bit of work, but it's very good for us to do this because long term, we will see a wonderful feeling from our families. For the second topic in this discussion, I want us to think about the events that we host in our spaces. Are we holding events like mother-daughter dance parties or father-daughter dance or father-son golfing tournaments? How do these things make our students feel included? How do they make our families feel? What if these individuals live with a guardian? What if these individuals live with an abuelo, an abuela? How can we change the wording for our events so that everyone can feel like they can come? Because let's be honest, we all want to have a dance party. For the next part that I want you to think about is the wording. Even when someone says, hey, did your mom and dad drop you off? Did your mom drop you off? Did your dad drop you off? Oh, put this form in your backpack so your mom can see it. We can change that wording. Just like we're changing the wording of guys, we're scratching that out. We can just take this out. Hey, have your grown-ups look at this. Or when you get a moment, can you make sure your adults see this? Saying those words make everyone feel included. Now, to bring this Mat Time to a close, remember, representation matters. The conversations we have matter. They make a change. They make a change in our lives, in our community's lives, and most importantly, in our kids' lives. So now, you know you have the power. Go ahead and change the world.